Hello, can you hear me? There's only a few people here so far. Hmm, I'm not hearing anybody. I see some, let's see. Somebody talk so I can hear if my speakers work.
Hello.
Hello, can't
Testing.
hear one person. Anybody else? Divya, go ahead and unmute yourself and say hello.
Hello, Professor.
Oh, good. Okay, great. That worked. Okay, thanks. Okay, so there's only a few people here so far. It's still a minute or two before starting, so um, I have to admit people as they arrive, I guess. Let me see. Oh, admit all. Okay.
Who everybody is. Well, when you do a drug, you can say who everybody was.
Okay, that worked. Hello, everyone.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. This is going to be a big class. There's going to be upwards of 40 people in this meeting. So I think I can see we'll get ready to start pretty soon. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Hello, my name is Roger Kraft. I'm the professor of this class. Okay. This is the beginning Java programming class. Okay. And we're going to meet this way by Zoom twice a week for the whole semester. You know, these meetings will be, they're meant to be pretty much like we would meet in a classroom. It's a chance, I explain things to you. You get to ask questions. We do a lot of demonstrations. Like when we're in a regular classroom, I always have a computer and it's projected on a screen. And I spend most of the class time showing people how to use software. So we look at Java programs, learn how to use Windows. You know, we learn a little bit more sophisticated things about using Windows. Okay, so I'll be doing that here too. In a little while, I'll share my desktop. So I'll be mostly showing you how I'm working with my computer so that you have a sense of what you can do with your computer at home. This is a programming class, so you'll be doing the homework assignments on your computer. So I'm going to show you how to set up what you need, the Java software you need to do programming on your computer at home. Okay, so that's basically what today is going to be about, is me showing you how to get started with using your computer at home to use Java. Okay, let's see. Anybody got a question right off the bat? Has anybody got a question to start with?
Would you be teaching us how to set it up and how to test to see if it runs?
Yeah, that's going to be mainly today. Is a way. That's actually your first homework assignment, is to test your computer and send me a file. Okay.
Okay.
So that's going to be, yeah. That's the main goal of today, is to see that, to get to show you what you need to do to get your computer set up. And then the first homework assignment, which is due a week from today, is for you to send me a file showing me that you've got things working on your computer. And in the meantime, for the next week, yeah, I'll be helping. If anybody's got a problem, if it doesn't, because every year there's always little glitches with this kind of stuff. So if anybody has a problem with their computer, that's what we'll be doing with office hours and by email and Zoom, and try to solve little problems. Okay. Oh, and this is a big class. Normally, in a Zoom class like this, if you have a question, there's a little click icon and you raise your hand. That doesn't work with so many people. If you got a question, just unmute yourself and just call my name and just make yourself heard. So if you have a question with so many people, the easiest to make sure I don't not notice your question, just unmute yourself and just shout out a question. Okay. So anytime you have a question, if something's not clear, if you're a little bit unsure, go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask a question. Okay. Let's see. I'm the professor of the class. The class also has an SI, who's a student. The SI stands for supplemental instructor. So the course has a undergraduate student SI assigned to the class. And I don't think he's here today. I think he's going to be in the Tuesday class. But he's like a tutor, an extra, a person that you can ask questions of. Okay, so you've gotten an email from him once already, I think, and he'll set up a weekly session or two where people can meet him, and then also he's just someone else, excuse me, that you can ask questions of and get advice and help from. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to sharing my screen, so you're going to see the desktop of my computer, and then I can start showing you stuff about. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now you should see my desktop. Oh, you have two people in the waiting room. Oh, I have to deal with this waiting room. Let me. Okay. Yeah, the Zoom makes everyone wait in the waiting room, and so if as people come in, I have to. If I don't see, yeah. Okay, I'm letting people in from the waiting room right now. Okay, I think that's everybody.
I
Okay.
have a question.
Yeah.
Are you going to record the classes?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, these are going to be recorded, and then they should be up on YouTube. And I'll show you in a minute the website for the course. You'll find links to the videos on the course website. Okay, so now university uses Brightspace for the course management system, but I pretty much, for my courses, I use a website. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to, here's Chrome, and I'm going to Google my name. If you just Google my name, ROGERKRAFT, usually the first link you get will be to Professor Roger Kraft at PNW. Just click on that link. Here's my university website. This is where I put the material for all my courses that I'm teaching. So this is the Java class. So just click on this link. And this will be where your homework assignments are, your reading assignments. There's a copy of the syllabus here. This is the site where you'll be getting all the information you need from the class. Okay, here's a link to the Zoom meeting for the daily classes. Here's a link to the Zoom office hours. Okay, and then here's the syllabus. Okay, there's the textbook we're using. We're going to be using two textbooks, and they're freely available online textbooks. So here's one of the textbooks. Okay, if you want, you can buy a physical copy of this book. If you go down to the bottom of this page, it says a print edition is available from Amazon, but you don't need to. We're going to use the online version of the book. If you really like to read physical books, you can buy the book, but there's no reason why you need to. Okay, it's got a nice online edition. I tried on my phone. This book is very readable even on a phone. It reads real well in a browser, and it actually even reads well on a tablet or a phone. Okay, so that's one of the two. This is going to be the main textbook. Okay, and then there's another textbook that we're going to also use. That's another free online interactive textbook. It looks like this. Not sure why it's taking so long to load this time. There, okay, so this is the other textbook. Okay, and I haven't checked this one. I think this one reads on a cell phone also. I think you can look at this one that way also. This one's much more interactive than the other one. This has got, we'll see it as we go along, this has code examples, and so does the other one. It has Java code right embedded in the textbook that you can practice with. And so there's lots of homework problems embedded right into this book that you can do as you're reading, and that's one of the main reasons for wanting to use this material. It's got built-in ability to do practice problems. Okay, so those are the links to the two books that we'll be using. Okay, just real quick, here's kind of what you need to know. There's going to be a bunch of programming assignments all during the semester where you're going to be writing code on your computer and submitting it to me using Brightspace. The submitting the homework will be done using Brightspace. And that's going to be half your grade. Half your grade is going to be doing the programming assignments. There's going to be one every week or two through the whole semester. Then there'll be 2 short exams during the semester. And here's some dates for them, okay? So these are the exams will be, you're going to be at home taking the exams. The exams will be something you sit at home, you'll you'll download the exam from my website, you'll do the exam, and you'll submit it back up to my website. We'll talk more about that when we get there. And they're going to be essentially a way for you to show that you've been keeping up with the material, okay? And then there'll also be a final exam that'll cover the semester, okay? So there'll be these 3 exams and a bunch of homework assignments, programming assignments, and that's what your grade's going to be, okay? And the rest of this syllabus is pretty much what everybody puts on their syllabus. So please read it. So the main thing here is just that you're going to have, the most important thing is these programming assignments. They are how you really learn Java programming, by doing Java programming. So like I say, every week or 2, you're going to have one due. And mostly, if you have questions, most of the time your questions are going to be driven by, how do I get these programming assignments done? So we'll be talking about Java in class, and then you'll use what we learn in class to write these assignments, okay? All right, so that's the syllabus. Then this other web page, this one here, this is the most important page. This lists what we do each day we meet. So today's the first day we're meeting. Here's your reading assignments. Okay, so right now, your first homework assignment's available. We'll look at it in a minute. So there's a homework page. This link here is a link to this page here, homework assignments. We'll look at your first homework assignment in a minute. Before that, we're going to install Java on your computer. See, on your home computer, install Java as described in these instructions. That'll be the next thing we do. We'll step through those instructions, and I'll kind of step you through installing Java on a computer, okay? And then your reading assignment is to read chapter 1 from the textbook, and also read chapter 2. Chapter 1 is a short introductory chapter. That's what we're going to more or less talk about today, is chapter 1, and chapter 2 is what we'll talk about on Wednesday. So this is the reading assignment for what we're talking about today. This is the reading assignment for what we will talk about on Wednesday. Okay? Usually the reading assignments will be the reading assignment on this web page will be what we're going to talk about in the next few days. At the end of chapter 1, there's a homework problem that I want you to practice with. So we'll do that before today's over with. We'll look at that. So there's a homework assignment for you to turn in. That's this page here. Yeah, the homework assignments you turn in are the ones that are linked to on this page here for programming assignments. But I'll also often give you little homework assignments for you to, out of the textbook, for you to practice with and to keep up with, just using what you learn in the textbook. So the homework assignments that are listed here are for practice, okay? They're for you to try, and if you have questions about them, certainly you can ask, but they're not for a grade. So if a homework assignment is listed like this, it's not for a grade, it's not something you turn in, it's just something you do for practice. The homework assignments you turn in for a grade are the ones that are linked on this homework assignment page, the program assignment page, okay? All right, and so the course website is a syllabus page, a day, this page, they'll just keep growing and growing. There'll be a new entry for every day we meet with the current reading assignments, example programs will be here. Anything I might want you to read, I'll have links to other readings besides the textbook. So this is where you get the daily schedule of the class. And then this is where your actual homework assignments will be, okay? All right, now, the first thing to do today is show you the steps for getting here. On your home computer, install Java 11 and something called Dr. Java. Okay, so I wrote a page with some instructions. Okay, here's some instructions. Okay, we're learning how to use a programming language. Just like if you're going to write Word documents, you need to have a program to write Word documents. You need to have Word on your computer to create Word documents. You need to have PowerPoint on your computer to create PowerPoint documents. You need Java on your computer to write Java programs. You can think of them as like Java documents. You're learning to write a new kind of document, Java documents, computer programs. So we need some software to do that with. And the software comes in 2 parts. The first part is the programming language itself, and then the second part is an editor that lets you edit documents in that programming language. So that's these 2 links here. This downloads the programming language, and then this downloads the editor, okay? Let me see. I want to make sure. I wanted to see. I want to stop and check if there's anybody who's still in the waiting room. Doesn't seem so. Okay. Okay. So just click on this link here, and this will download a program, that an installer. Make sure you pay attention to where it's downloaded to. Like in my case, I have my browser set up to download everything to my desktop. Okay. So I've downloaded that installer. Okay. And it's on my desktop actually. You need to double click on that installer. Now I can't actually do the install because I actually already have Java on my computer. So I don't want to go through the whole install. But notice that you just double click on the installer and then you'll step through the installation process. Just always, don't make any changes here. Just click next, step through the installation process. You will probably need to type in a password. I think it's about to ask me for a password. Yeah, see, so I don't know. You may not see that, but it's asking. Do you see it? When I share, right now I'm being asked for a password, but passwords are special. I don't know if you see it or not. Okay.
No.
It's just a blank screen.
Yeah, that's right. That was the password screen. Okay, and then so I declined to give my password because I don't want to reinstall Java because I already have it on this machine. So not every Windows machine is set up to prompt you for a password when you install something. Most are these days, but depending on how you installed Windows on your computer and everything, you may or may not be asked for a password when you install this thing. Okay, so again, you just double click on it. Click next all the time, click next all the time. Notice the little symbol here, that's the symbol that says you need a password. That little shield there is Windows' way of saying that you're gonna be asked for a password, okay? You gotta know the password for your computer, okay? Now, so if I click install there, it's gonna pop up a window, ask me for a password, okay? And then I'm not gonna finish this, but then you'll just keep clicking next, next, next. And you'll end up installing Java on your computer. Okay, now after you install Java on your computer, you go back to the instructions, you're ready for this next step. Okay, the next step is to download this. Oh, this installer is actually from Amazon. You're not buying something from Amazon. For some strange reason in the world, Amazon has become the source for Java. It's a long, strange story, but Amazon became the source for the Java language, even though they're not the ones who created it by any means. Oh, let's see.
Oracle's still providing updates to it though, too, aren't they?
Kind of. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Kind of. But they have restrictions on their licenses. The Amazon version has no license restrictions. That's the main difference between it and Oracle. The Amazon one is truly free. The Oracle one's kind of weird, and it's some people have to pay for it now. If you're a company, you have to pay for Java, and if you use Amazon's version of Java, nobody has to pay for it. This one's truly free. So the Oracle one has become kind of odd. So people have
Is the screen supposed to be black right now?
No, no. You should see my desktop. Does everybody see my desktop?
It's black for most of
No.
us.
We can see your mouse though, but that's about it.
Pardon me?
We can see your mouse, but the rest of the screen's all black.
Darn it, that's stupid. Probably something got screwed up by that logon screen. I'm going to stop sharing and then start sharing again. Maybe that'll fix it. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so now you see back to like all the little people, right? Okay, now I'm going to start sharing again. Let's see if that fixes it. How about now?
All
It's
good.
back. It's good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I bet that log on screen really, log on screens are, and there's for a good reason, log on screens are very special because anybody who can mimic one could fake you into giving them a password. So log on screens are designed by the operating system to be really different than almost everything else about the operating system to try to make it impossible for anybody to fake a log on screen. Okay, so by me clicking on that login prompt, it somehow fooled Zoom completely. Okay, So yeah, and oh, if anything seems wrong, please just shout out something. Like, if anything doesn't seem right, please just, make a comment, Okay, all right. So now you're back to seeing my screen now, okay? So we've done supposedly the Java install. Now we'll do the editor, the program that lets you create Java programs. So this is something I put together. Just click on that link there and download it. Again, pay attention to where it downloads. In my case, it's being downloaded to my desktop. It's still downloading. This is actually being downloaded from my university website. Notice that this one downloaded from Amazon. AWS stands for Amazon. This one's downloading from PNW. I hope their server's not acting funny. Notice it got up to almost the end and just paused. Let's see if it's there. Oh, it's there. Okay, it's probably okay. So there's the zip file. Okay, so I've downloaded a zip file. Okay, there, fine. Okay, so I've got this thing downloaded. It's a zip file, which means it's a collection of a bunch of other files. So take this zip file and right-click on it and click on Extract All. Okay, so that extracts it from a zip file to a folder. Okay, now let me show you something. If you're not real comfortable with using computers, here's something that can cause you all kinds of grief. Okay. Notice that I have a zip file here and a folder here. This one's called cs123.zip. Oh, okay. Here's another thing. Let me back up a minute and show you something about Windows that causes a lot of grief for students. Okay. Open this folder. You see files with names, and then you see a dot after the name. So you see a dot with something after the name. So you have a dot. Let's see. Oh, somebody's in the waiting room. Okay. On most Windows machines, you don't see these dots at the end of the name. This part of a name is called the extension. The dot, 3 letters at the end of a name, is called the extension. Most of the time in Windows, you don't see this. Now, if I click on View here, see this little checkbox? It says File Name Extensions. This is what you usually see in Windows. See, the extensions disappeared. Okay? Most of them did. No, this one's still there. This extension is still there, but the other extensions disappeared. You don't want that. That's not a good idea. That's especially if you're going to be taking programming classes, you need to show file name extensions. So on your computer, what you need to do is you do something like this. You just open any folder, like your C drive maybe, and you go here to View and click File Name Extensions. Okay. Then when you click File Name Extensions, you'll see these extensions here. Now, let me go back and turn them off. Just show you a second, a minute. I'm going to turn off the file name extension. Now, this makes this thing even more confusing. Now I have 2 files that look like they have the same name. CS123, CS123. They have the same name. They don't really have the same name because this is a folder and it doesn't have an extension. This is a file and it really does have an extension, but Windows is hiding the extension from me right now. They also have slightly different icons. Now, open this one. Okay, I double-clicked the zip file and opened it. Now I'm going to double-click the folder and open it. And here's a problem. This is the zip file opened. This is the folder opened. They look alike, and they're not by any means alike. You can't work with this thing very well. You have to be working with a folder. Whenever somebody sends you a zip file, you can't just open the zip file and start working with it. And this causes a lot of grief. I get emails from students saying, I downloaded this and such, and it won't work, and it's broken. And almost always it turns out the student just double-clicked on the zip file and tried to work with the zip file. If you look real carefully, there's only one thing that tells you that the left-hand one is a zip file. if you notice that there's this little colored bar up here, that's the thing that tells you you're in a zip file. Now, if you look down here, you can't tell. But if you look up here, that little pink bar tells you that you're inside of a zip file. That's actually a warning that this is not a folder, and it's probably not going to work the way you want it to work. There's a lot of things that don't work inside of zip files that work when they're in a folder. Okay? Some things work in a zip file, and some things don't work in a zip file, but you need to be careful. Most of the time, you do not want to work with a zip file. And it's really easy to make that mistake. It's real easy to double click on a zip file and then just forget that it's a zip file. It looks like a folder like almost any other folder. It just looks like a folder. And it's just real easy to get mixed up about what's going on. Yeah, the zip file acts like a folder except when you try to work with it. So many things that you try to do with the files in a zip file will fail. You'll get funny error messages that don't tell you you're in a zip file, they just fail. Okay? So whenever you download a zip file, make sure you remember to unzip it and then pretty much delete the zip file and work with the folder. Now, also, remember to go to your computer and go to View, open a folder, go to View, and click this file name extensions. Okay. Now notice that, now you can see that that thing has a zip extension, but this is a folder. Folders don't have extensions to their names. Okay. So from the course website, download this zip file, okay, unzip it, delete the zip file after you've unzipped it. You don't really need it. Then I want you to take this file and copy it to your C drive. So go to your C drive. You go to My Computer and go to your C drive, okay? And copy that file, that zip file, well, the folder, copy that folder to your C drive. You don't have to do this, but if everybody does it this way, then everybody will be working from the same point of view. So move this to your C drive, okay?
Is there a C drive on a Mac?
Oh, this one, no, if you have a Mac, you have to talk to me. None of this will work with a Mac. You have to do things differently on a Mac. The vast majority of the students have Windows machines. There usually only be 2 or 3 people with a Mac in the class. You have to do things separately. Let me backtrack a little bit. For example, don't download this version of Corretto. You'll download a different version. I'll send you a link to the version you should download. So this is the Windows. See, it says it right in the name. This is the Windows version. You'll need to download a Mac version. And this will work, this file will work on a Mac. This zip file will work on a Mac. You don't have a C drive, so you can probably just put it on your desktop. But the main thing is you need to download a different version of this thing here. Okay, so Mac people need to download a different version of this. This should work for both Windows and Mac people.
I got my copy of JDK from Oracle, version 14. Is that okay?
Yes, yeah, that should work fine.
And can I use IntelliJ?
If you want.
Okay, I have it.
There's some things that IntelliJ may not do that we need to do in this class. I'll show you later in the semester. There's a few features of what we're going to do that I don't think IntelliJ has.
Okay.
But for the most part, you can use IntelliJ without any trouble.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So if you have a Mac, I need to send you a link to the version of this that you'll use. Actually, if you can actually go to it. There's the Mac version right there. See, if you follow this link here, it takes you to the page where all the versions of this thing are.
Okay.
And there is the Mac version. So you can
All
just,
right.
yeah. So you can just download the Mac version. But send me if you need help, send me an email, and I can make sure that you get what you need. So yeah, you'll need the Mac version of this, and this zip file will work fine. Okay. All right. So I've got that zip file unzipped and copied to my C drive. Inside of it, there's this program here. This is a program called Dr. Java. If you double click on this, it starts up what you might think of as a word processor for Java. Okay. See, this is the program we're going to be using for creating Java programs. We use this program to create Java programs, okay? Now, this won't work until after you've installed Java on your computer. This program needs Java installed before it'll work. So you have to install these things in the order on this. You have to install this one first, then this one, okay? All right, now I'm going to close this. Now, what I tend to do is I put a shortcut to this thing on my desktop. So I create a shortcut to it on the desktop, and then just work with this shortcut for it. Yeah. You can put that shortcut. You can put a shortcut to the this thing's called Dr. Java. You can put a shortcut to Dr. Java pretty much anywhere you want on your computer. Okay. So I'm going to have a shortcut on the desktop for now. Okay. Right, now I've got Java working. Well, we haven't tested this yet. So we're going to test this now by starting with the first homework assignment. Okay, so right now we've done the steps of this thing here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the main page. Okay, so we've got.
Kind of lost you for a minute. Could you repeat the last few seconds of your thing?
Let's see. You mean about the shortcut?
I guess my connection cut out.
Oh, I was thinking. What I was doing is, I copied that folder to my C drive, and this is the program we're going to use as this is our editor. It's like Word, but for Java programs. This is the program we're going to be using to create Java programs, okay? But if you don't want to keep opening this folder, what I point out you can do is you can create a shortcut to it on your desktop. See, I just created a second short. And then you can close this and you can just use the shortcut, okay? So, and you can put this shortcut anywhere you want on your computer. So it points to the Dr. Java program. Okay, now back to the website. We've done this step here. So now I want to go and look at the first homework assignment, the one you're supposed to turn in a week from today. So click on this page to go to the homework assignment page. Okay. Okay. Now every homework assignment you're going to get is going to be listed on this page, but the homework assignments are actually in their own page that describes them. So click on this page. Here's a description of the homework assignment. Okay. Your homework assignment is to create a Java program and send it to me. So your homework assignment is to create a simple Java program and send it to me. Now, every homework assignment has a zip file for the homework assignment. So you'll see the first line says, this assignment makes use of the files in this zip file. So download the homework zip file, okay? As always, keep track of where you're downloading things to, okay? In that case, I'm downloading things to my desktop. So there's the homework zip file, okay? Okay, so unzip that zip file. Okay, after you unzip it, go ahead and delete the zip file. Now make sure, this is where things get messy. If you just double click on this homework zip file and try to do the homework in this folder, you'll get all kinds of weird error messages. You can't do homework in a zip file. This folder here as a zip file won't work, okay? So probably better to just delete the zip file and just keep the unzipped folder. Okay? All right, now in this folder are 3 documents. There's a copy of the homework assignment. So if you double click on this, let's see, it's supposed to have opened. It opened the homework assignment in a browser, okay? See, so if you double click on this, it opens the homework assignment on your computer. Okay, that's just redundant with reading it on the internet. Okay, just for completeness, I put a copy of the homework assignment in, this is what we call an HTML page. That's actually what web pages are. Later on, you'll learn the details, but this is a web document. HTML is a web document. Then this is a Java document. This is your homework assignment is to finish what's inside this file. And then this is a picture of what we'll see in a minute, this is a picture of Dr. Java running. I'll show you in a minute why that's in there. Okay. Take this file. You want to open it in Dr. Java. So here's how I'm going to do that. Double click on my Dr. Java shortcut. And Dr. Java opens. This is like opening Word with nothing, with an empty Word document. What I have here is an untitled empty Java document. If I drag this over to here, I just opened that file there in Dr. Java. Okay, so this is a file. Think of it as like a Word document or a text file, or a PowerPoint. It's a computer document, but we open it with Dr. Java. And the easiest way to do that is to just start Dr. Java, then drag this to Dr. Java. Okay. A computer program is a bunch of what we call, now this is where the reading this is where reading the first reading assignment from the textbook comes in. The textbook explains this stuff here real well, okay? These are statements in the Java programming language, okay? I'm going to type a statement here. Okay, I just typed a statement in the Java programming language. Okay, so I'm starting to write a Java program. Okay, now notice that this little star here means I've changed this file, just like in Word or anything else. When you type in here, you change the file, you should save it. See, if I save it, that means it's now written over to here. Notice that when I saved it, I got this little tilde file. That's Dr. Java's way of saying, here's your current version, here's your last version. Here's the current version of what's in here. Here's a backup of the last version. Okay, so that's just something Dr. Java does. It saves a backup copy of your file. Okay, now if I want, I can copy and paste this. Okay, notice that little stars, I've made a change here. That little star is there, meaning that I've made a change. If I want to save it to the file on the hard drive, I click on the Save button. What we want to do with Java programs is run them, okay? You want to run a Java program. Notice here there's a Run button. But before you can run a Java program, you have to do what's called compiling it. The program has to be translated from human-readable Java program to a computer-readable Java program. So watch what happens when I click this Compile button. I click the Compile button, and if you notice, what happened is I got a new file over here. Something called this is called a class. I got something called a class file over here when I click the Compile button. Now, if I want, I can delete this one here, and I can do it again. If I click on the Compile button, this Java program that's human readable, which is open in here, gets compiled or translated into something that is computer readable. If you open this file, oh, Java won't even let you open it. If you open this file, I can open it for you in another program. It's just gibberish. Yeah. Notice it's kind of a gibberish file, okay? Because it's not human readable. The class files are what we call machine readable. If you open them, you do see some text in there, but the text is all mixed up with gibberish, okay? That's actually what, the gibberish is what's called machine code. It's the code that the computer executes, okay? So we type human readable Java text, we compile it into machine readable, computer readable code. Then after you compile it, you can click run. When you run it, the program executes and its output appears down here. Now, let me show you something real quick. Suppose I delete this file. Now I try to run it. I get an error message. Okay. Yeah. So the current document is out of sync with the interactions page. You get a kind of a funny error. You see, it says you need to recompile. So if you try to run it without compiling it, without the class file here, you get an error message. Okay? So I compile it, then I can run it. When I run it, it executes these Java statements. And you can see this one says print line. So it printed hello. And this one says print line. So it also printed hello. If I wanted to, I could change this one to say goodbye. Notice I changed my program. Now, I have to do two things to run this program. I need to save it because I made a change to it. Then I need to recompile it. Now I can run the new version of it. So now it says hello, goodbye. Okay. Notice if you make a change, you need to save the change. Then after you save the change, you need to recompile to retranslate from the human readable Java program to the machine readable class program. And then after you've recompiled, then you can run it. Now, let me just show you another thing. Let me go back to hello 2. Suppose I save it, and then run it. Okay, I saved it. I'm not going to recompile it, and I run it. I get another error message because right now this document shows this, but this class file was the compiling of the old version of what was in here. This Java document and this class document are out of sync with each other. This is no longer the translation of what's in here. I made a change here, I saved it, and I click run, and Dr. Java says, wait a minute, these are out of sync with each other. You can't run this one anymore. You need to recompile. Now, when I recompile, I'm going to make this class file in sync with this Java file. So I compile, and then I can run. Okay. All right. So this is your first homework assignment, is to do something like this. Okay. Now, your first homework assignment, you go back over here to the web page, your output's supposed to look like this. You're supposed to write your output to look like that. Now, right now, our output looks like hello, hello. Okay. Let me just do a little trick here. I'm going to copy, paste, save, compile, run. Okay. Notice I've got a part of what I want. See, the homework assignment is to get this output. Okay. So for example, now I can take maybe this second line here, copy, save what I made a change, save it, compile it, run it, okay? Notice I'm building up what I'm supposed to get in this output here. Okay, so your idea is you have to finish, read the first chapter of the book. They talk about this. You need to write a bunch of these what are called print line statements until your program prints out this little picture here. So you'll have to have that picture down here should appear here. Okay. All right. So your homework assignment then is to just write this simple little program that draws this picture down here. And then you're going to submit your code to me. Now, I want you to submit two things to me when you submit your homework assignment to me. I want you to submit your Java program and a picture of Dr. Java with your program running in Dr. Java. Okay. Now, see, here's an example of what I mean by that. Here's a this is called a screenshot. Here's a screenshot of Dr. Java running. This is what it should look like when you're done. You should have you should have this little, you should have a thing up here that says your name and your email address and all that. Okay, so like over here, okay, I would up here put my name here and my email address here. I want you to put your name and your email address in your homework assignments. That way, if I notice something and I want to send you a comment, I just have your email address right there in the file. instead of me having to go look up your email address, especially if you ask me a question or you submitted your homework, it's real useful for me to have your email address in the file. So if I see something, I want to send you a comment and make let you know something about your homework assignment, I can just get your email address and send you a quick comment. Okay, so put your name and your email address in the file. Okay. Okay. Now, how do you get these screenshots? I want you to get a screenshot that you can send to me. When your program is done, you're supposed to send me a screenshot. Now, if you've never done screenshots, let me just show you real quick, okay? If I want a screenshot of, this program, there's a key on your keyboard. Now, every keyboard has a different name for this key, but it says something like print screen. Like on my computer, it's abbreviated PRTSC. Sometimes it's PRNT screen, or sometimes they spell out the whole word print screen. But there's a key somewhere on your keyboard for printing the screen. Now, if you tap the print screen key, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tap the print screen key. Then you go up here on the Windows icon, click on that and type Paint. And you get the Paint app. And then under Paint, click on this Paste key. Notice I just pasted the screenshot of my desktop into Paint. Okay. Now, I didn't want a screenshot of my desktop. I wanted a screenshot of just Dr. Java. Okay. So if you tap the print screen key, you get a screenshot of your whole desktop, and then you can paste it into Paint. If you want a screenshot of just one program, you hold down, I can't show you this, I can just describe it in a word. You hold down the Alt key. So it's like a Shift key. You hold it down and then tap the print screen key. So I'm holding down the Alt key and I tap the print screen key. Now I go over here and I click on the Windows icon, type Paint, start Paint, paste. Notice that now I have a screenshot of this Dr. Java. Then you want to save that. Save it as homework1.png. Save it on your desktop. Okay. Okay. So I saved that screenshot on my desktop. Where'd it go? I thought I saved it on my desktop. Did I? I don't see. Let me do that again. I thought I saved it on my desktop. So I'm going to Alt print screen. So I just took a screenshot. Go here to Paint. Click on Paste. There's my screenshot. Paste. Now I need to save it. So File, Save, homework1.png. So I'm going to save that on my desktop. Should be there now. Yeah, so there's my screenshot saved on the desktop. Okay. Then copy that screenshot into this folder and replace it, the one that I gave you a sample screenshot with the homework assignment. So that's a sample screenshot. When you've got your homework assignment done, you'll put your screenshot into that folder. Okay. And now this is what you're ready to turn in to me. You've got your program, your screenshot. If you want, you can, it's actually kind of better. Don't send me the class file. Don't send me this HTML file. You don't need to send me the backup. You just need to send me this. Okay. Now here's how this is the last step of a homework assignment. You're going to have to send me this stuff here. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn this back into a zip file. You're going to send me a zip file of your work here. Now here's the way to do that. Okay, you highlight these two files. See, now they're highlighted, they're selected, and you right-click on them, and you send to compressed folder. Okay. Okay. Now, notice it. You highlight the files, right-click on them, and go to Send to Compressed Zip File. Okay, and they're there. See, now Windows gave it a name Homework 1 Zip, but you're supposed to. Now this is. I'll show you in a minute. There's a page on the website that documents this. Don't send me a file called homework1.zip because I'll get 40 files named homework1.zip and I can't have 40 files of the same name. You need to rename this file. So you right click on it and you click rename and you're going to call it CS123 homework 1, then type your last name. Okay, so that way I know what class your file is from, which homework assignment you're working on, and who you are. So if you name your zip file this way, it works real well for me. I know which class it came from, which homework assignment you're sending me, and who you are. Okay. Notice that my files, now your file you send me stays named homework 1. Okay, but it's inside of a folder, so that's okay with me. It's okay if everybody calls their program homework 1 because everyone's homework is going to be inside of a folder with their name on it. Okay. You will use Brightspace. You'll use this file, this zip file here. You can copy it somewhere, anywhere you want. That zip file you will upload to Brightspace. Brightspace is brand new. I'm not even actually positive how you upload this to Brightspace yet. I have to experiment with Brightspace a little bit still. So you'll upload this to Brightspace. I created last night a homework assignment tool in Brightspace for you. You go ahead and give it, some of you might give it, you want to try this out. I think it works. Brightspace is real new. We haven't used it before. This is the first semester of using Brightspace. I think I created the tool correctly. I think you can use that tool to upload your homework zip file. So we'll see how that works. The first person who tries it, maybe it works fine for them. If something doesn't work, send me email. But I did create a homework assignment tool in Brightspace for this homework assignment where you should be able to upload your zip file. Okay. All right. So again, for the homework assignment, you start back over here. You go to the homework page. You go to the homework page. Then you go to the page for this homework assignment. Download the zip file for the homework assignment. Unzip it. After you've unzipped the homework assignment, you'll have this file that you have to modify. Modify this file until you've got it doing the correct work. After you've modified the file and you compile it, run it, take a screenshot of your Dr. Java, and then put the screenshot in your folder next to your homework assignment. So there'll be your Java document. This will be your screenshot. Zip this back up. Zip this back up into a zip file. And then you'll upload this, rename the zip file, and upload it to me. Now, if you go back to the homework assignment page, here this page isn't there yet because I have to modify it for Brightspace. It'll be up there later today. Turning in your assignments describes a lot of these steps. Okay, so the steps that you're going to use for turning in assignments are just documented in this page here. So that'll be up there later today explaining. I still have to figure out what to say about the Brightspace tool, but that'll be up there today explaining these steps about unzipping your homework assignment, then re-zipping it and submitting it on Brightspace. Okay? All right. So that's a quick rundown of what the homework assignment looks like. The purpose of this homework assignment is mainly just to get you to make sure that you have Java and Dr. Java on your computer and that you could type in a little simple program, save your work, compile it running. The screenshot is just to get you to do a little bit more with the computer. A lot of times I'm going to ask you to do things. I want you to learn how to use computers. Some of you may have done screenshots and are real familiar with them and it's no big deal. Some of you, may not have done a screenshot before. So a lot of times the homework assignments will ask you to do things to help you familiarize different things with the computer. So after you do the screenshot, then you make the zip file and you'll upload it. Okay, let's see now, what's next to talk about? Anybody have any question about the homework assignment?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So when I go to compile on Java, it's giving me a fatal error, unable to find package, java.lang in class path or boot class path.
Now, are you using Dr. Java?
I'm using Dr. Java.
I was having a similar issue with the test file that came with.
That,
I'm getting the issue as well.
pardon me?
I'm also having that issue.
Did you install the Corretto JDK?
Yes.
Okay. Boy, maybe Dr. Java is having trouble finding Corretto. Okay. Dr. Java is supposed to find the Java on your computer automatically. In the past, it usually worked. Maybe it's not working right anymore. Did anybody get Dr. Java working? Anybody giving it a shot? Anybody got Dr. Java working?
Yeah, I got it working on the Mac.
On a Mac, okay, great.
Superior.
Yeah, it might be that Dr. Java is having trouble finding the Amazon version of Java. But that's the version. Let me try. Okay. Now, if you notice, if you go to the Dr. Java website, they recommend use the Amazon. So they're recommending using, well, they used the wrong URL for it, but they recommended using Amazon Corretto. So it should work with Corretto. It should. What was the exact error message you got?
Fatal error, unable to find package, java.lang in class path or boot class path.
Yeah, that means it didn't. Huh.
Wait a second. The page said something about Corretto 8.
Yeah, but that's an old page. And I'm pretty sure it worked. There are problems. Corretto 8 has got some other problems with it. 11's the better one to use.
I'm going to try to re-download Corretto.
Yeah, I doubt very much that that'll make a difference. It's probably a matter of telling Dr. Java how to find Corretto. The question is, I'll have to play around with it. There used to be a way where you could tell Dr. Java how to find your version of Java, how to tell Dr. Java how to find the version of Java, but I'm not remembering where that is in here. Okay. Huh. We didn't have this problem last year.
Now, the compiler that you have is a little different than what mine says. It says, because mine says 8.0 underscore 222, and yours says underscore 181.
Yeah, but you actually, my machine has many versions of Java on it because I've been teaching lots of classes for you. So unfortunately, my machine's a bad machine to test this on because I've actually got like 5 versions of Java on this computer.
Okay.
How did you get 8 though? Well, you didn't use Corretto, did you? Because we're supposed to be using. I pointed you at Corretto.
I did.
11
I downloaded Corretto, and 8.0 is the one that comes out
in Dr. Java.
in Dr. Java. I don't know. Is anyone else having that issue?
But Dr. Java, I
That
wonder.
says
it says-
Java 8 for me as well.
It says that I have the compiler JDK 8.0.
Just like, okay, that may be that. But you install Corretto 11, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That may mean that you have more, that you may actually have Java on your computer for some other reason. Sometimes if you install some games, they occasionally will install Java on your computer.
My computer already had Java downloaded to it.
Yeah, and it might be confusing Dr. Java. Yeah, it might be using some other version of Java that you have on your machine. Because I know that there's a few games and a few other programs that will put Java on your, Windows doesn't put Java on your computer. When you install Windows, it does not come with Java. But there are some games and some other programs that will install Java on your computer.
Well, if you go on your command prompt, you can just type Java / version, and it'll tell you what you're running.
Yeah. Yes and no. See, if I type Java version. Okay. See, it tells me but see, that's only one of the many Javas that I have on this computer. See, this one says OpenJDK 11. I've actually literally got, I think, 5 different versions of Java on this machine because I work with a lot of different stuff. So only one of them shows up when you type Java on your command line. And that's actually not even the one that Dr. Java is using. So Dr. Java is glommed onto one of my other versions of Java, while at the command line, I get the OpenJDK, but I also have the Amazon Corretto version of Java on my computer. So well, actually, no, this one is the Corretto one. Yeah, this one, actually, yeah, this one is the OpenJDK Corretto. Okay, so this one does say Java Corretto. Oh, that's actually a good point. You could, if you open if you're having trouble, you click up here and you type CMD, and you get this thing called the command prompt. Okay, then type Java -version and see if it says Corretto. That would mean that Corretto is installed properly. But it doesn't mean that Dr. Java found it, but that means that Corretto is installed properly. Okay.
It does not say that for me.
Pardon me?
It doesn't say that for me.
What does it say?
I have a couple different Java versions. I have Java Hotspot. I have Java SC runtime environment.
Yeah, yeah. So the question then becomes getting Dr. Java. Well, actually, I don't care which one Dr. Java uses. As long as Dr. Java can compile, that's fine. It doesn't matter which version of Java you use. Okay, for this course, it really doesn't matter which version of Java you use. So if Dr. Java is compiling okay, that's fine. But you got to get Dr. Java to find at least one of the JDKs, one of the versions of Java. So what I need to do is I need to go back and remember how to get Dr. Java to point it at other versions of Java. I'm not remembering how to get it to point at other versions. If you've got more than one version of Java on your computer, the question becomes now how to get Dr. Java to point at other ones. Yeah, if it's not pointing at the correct one. Okay, we always have this problem beginning of every semester. When Microsoft made a strategic decision to screw up Java. This was a long time ago. It's really kind of sad, but because Microsoft saw Java as a competitor, they literally made a strategic decision to make Java a pain in the butt, and they succeeded. And it works a lot better on Macs and Linux. On Windows, it's a problem. And Microsoft just refuses to make Java a first-class member of the Windows operating system. It is a first, in Linux, you get Java automatically. I can't remember if a Mac has Java automatically, but usually Macs don't seem to have any problem. I can't remember if Java comes automatically with a Mac or not. It does not come with Windows. Microsoft kind of refuses to make it work well with Windows. But it's one of the premier languages in the world right now. Java is, but it's also one of Microsoft's main competitors. It competes with Microsoft's own language called .NET. Okay, so we always have this problem at the beginning of every semester, getting everyone's computer to run Java properly. Okay, all right. So send me, if you have problems, send me emails and I'll try to figure out what's stopping Dr. Java from finding the Corretto JDK. Okay, because that would be the best way for it to work, for it to just work with the Corretto JDK. Okay, now let's go on to one last thing for today. Got a few minutes left. Okay, your first reading assignment is chapter 1 of the book. So let me just show you what the book looks like real quick. Okay, here's the book. You read along. And then here you get to see this thing here. This is a version of Java embedded in the book. See, here's a program just like we were working with. A Java program that's got a system.out line in it that says hello world. This is a program you can run. When you click the run button here, your program gets compiled and runs over here. Now, for example, if I wanted, see, I just changed the program. Now, if we're in Dr. Java, you would save this and then recompile it. Well, here you're working in a web page. So you just click the run. You're not saving, you're not saving things here. You're just running these programs. So you're not saving them as files, but you can run the program. And so this is what the book is going to be like. There's going to be these little boxes where you could try out the Java ideas that they're talking about. As the book is talking about Java, they've embedded in the book a Java compiler, and you can type code. They give you code. There's another example here. See, here's some example code. Then you can run it. Okay, and if you want, you can make changes and run it again. Okay, and the idea is that as you're reading and learning, you should play around and experiment with these. And when the book says that such and such works, you can actually try it out in these boxes here. Okay. So there's several of these boxes where they demonstrate ideas from the book in a live Java environment. Okay. So that's one thing that's interesting about the book is the book has embedded in it a live Java environment. Now, some chapters make more use of this than others. Okay, so like in this case, there's quite a few examples here where you can click run and you can click, you can try each one of these examples. And again, remember, you can make any kind of change you want. Now, for example, here's something that's worth doing. Suppose I get rid of one of the punctuation marks. Notice that now I've got an error over here. The book talks about this, and this is one of the things you're going to pick up on your reading. If you don't type syntactically, grammatically correct Java, you get errors when you try to compile your program. Let me do an example of that in Dr. Java, show you what that looked like over here too, okay? So if I go back to my Dr. Java example, here's my little program in Dr. Java. Let me make a syntax error. I get rid of that semicolon. And I click compile. And Dr. Java says, oh, on line 10. Oh, notice it says line 10. Well, where's line 10? If you go up here to File, no, Edit, Preferences, Display Options, you can turn on line numbers. In fact, it's a shame that Dr. Java doesn't do that automatically. You want to do that and then click OK and turn on line numbers. Okay, so now when it says that On line 10, see line 10, there's this mistake. You're missing a semicolon, okay? Another example is if I mistype something and now I compile, I get an error message saying that there's a problem on that line. Same thing over here. If I go back over here, if I misspell something and click run, I get error. Now these are what we call compiler error messages. You'll get tons of them. You have to keep fixing things as you get compiler error messages. This is what makes programming tedious. Is, you know, in English, if you forget a comma, you might get somebody making a snide remark about how you didn't punctuate right, but everybody knows what you meant. You know, if you forget a comma in an English sentence, pretty much people can read it. But in Java, if you forget something minor, your program just doesn't compile. Your program stops being correct. Okay. If you, lots of little mistakes stop, oh, notice that this program is now connecting to the server and is having trouble communicating. Okay. If you, computer programming languages are very, very precise. They don't accept any kind of little mistakes. So almost any kind of punctuation mistake, any kind of grammatical mistake, you're just halted dead in your tracks. You can't run the program. You have to fix the grammatical error before you can go on and do anything else with the program. And quite often the grammatical errors can be kind of cryptic to figure out. In this case, I'm missing a parentheses. Okay. You could be missing a brace. Okay. Now notice that it pointed, if you look real carefully at this error message, it pointed at the closing brace and said there's something wrong there because what's missing is the opening brace that was over here. It didn't point to where the mistake actually is. It pointed to something that was related to the mistake, but not exactly a mistake. So this closing brace was supposed to close this opening brace. No, I'm sorry. This closing brace here was closing this opening brace, but it pointed to the wrong brace. Okay. Same here. If I delete this one, now it points to hello 3. Oh, it actually pointed. This time it pointed to the wrong place. It said that the opening brace is missing. So this time when I deleted this opening brace, it noticed that's missing. Okay. But when I delete this opening brace, it points to the wrong place. Notice how the error messages can be very, very kind of confusing. Okay. But when you get error messages in Dr. Java or in this page, you always have to fix the errors before you can continue on with your programming. Okay. Now, the book talks a lot about that. Okay. In fact, your last okay, there's in the last thing I'll point out to you here, in this homework assignment here, it's an exercise at the end of chapter 1. So click on chapter 1, go to the very end. The error message is to get a lot of, the exercise is to take a Java program and cause lots of error messages in it, okay? To cause lots of error messages. And that's exactly what they want you to do. They say, like, delete one of the opening braces, delete one of the closing braces, change the spelling of main to Mayam. You know, remove the word static. Just look at what kind of error message you get when you make all these kinds of mistakes. So the homework assignment is just to cause a lot of mistakes and see what kind of funny error message you get, because you're gonna have to get used to the error messages. As you get used to them, they help you, you start getting used to what error messages mean. They're usually not very carefully worded, but as you get used to them, you get a sense of what they're pointing at. So that's something we'll see a lot of as we go along. Okay, so we're at the end of the class time. Okay. The only thing, okay, so the only big thing right now is to get Dr. Java to work with Corretto. That's something I'll have to get figured out as quickly as possible. if anybody has any questions, if you have any, as you're trying to get this stuff working on your computer at home, send me information here. If you have error messages, if things aren't working, let me know. And the more information I get, the maybe the quicker it'll be I can figure out what's going, why this isn't, why Dr. Java is having trouble. Anybody got any last minute question? We've reached the end of the class, but anybody got any last minute question?
If somebody figures out the issue with Dr. Java, would that be emailed to us, or would it be a message on Brightspace?
I don't know it depends on exactly what the solution is. I might make it a message on the web. Actually, I could email it to you. I'll wait and see. It depends on just what kind of answer it is. Like I might just have to update the instructions. Like it might be that I can update these instructions.
I see.
So it kind of depends on what the answer will be. Yeah, it might be that I send an email out to everyone. It might be I update these instructions. So we'll see how it works out. I'm not really sure yet just what the answer is going to be. One possibility is to go back to JDK 8. I don't know if that would be a solution, but I don't think that's a good solution because there were other problems with JDK 8. So yeah, the answer, we'll have to see what works out best.
Are you on campus at all?
Not really. No, I haven't been going to campus. I've been staying home. Why? Are you on campus?
Oh, no, I was just wondering if like we're having problems with Dr. Java, if we could come in and you could help us like that way.
We can do Zoom and you can share your screen with me. You share your screen. A lot of times that helps. Like we connect with Zoom and you share your desktop and then I can see what's going on with your computer. So that might be just as good as if you came in with your laptop.
All right.
So definitely there's office hours. Anytime you want, you can send me an email. And anytime you want, you can request that we meet by Zoom. So, send me emails to ask questions, request, a meeting with me by Zoom to ask questions. When we Zoom, if we do a Zoom meeting together, we can share each other's desktop, which works a lot. That helps a lot. Okay. All right. Anybody, any other last minute questions? Anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, the link where it says turning in your assignments isn't working out.
Yeah, I have to update that to be with some of the detail about Brightspace.
Okay.
I'm writing that now to try to be because Brightspace is new, so I'm even learning how Brightspace works. So that's the last page I need to write. This page. That's this one here, turning in your assignments. Yeah. I hope I'll have that one up later this afternoon. Okay. And
all right, sounds good.
And what we just did will be is hopefully it's recording right now. I told Zoom to record it, and I'll put a link to the recording up here. Okay, so hopefully later today you'll see a link to a YouTube version. Yeah, I'll have this recording up on YouTube, and there should be a link to it up here on the website. Okay, so hopefully there'll be a link to this whole recording pretty soon. Okay. All right. Any other last question?
Would it be okay if I use Eclipse? I'm just more familiar with it.
Fine. Every once in a while, there's something that there's a few things that Dr. Java do that are really nice from an educational point of view that I don't think Eclipse does. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, you can use anything you want.
Okay. I have the Dr. Java downloaded. I just wanted to know because I'm more familiar with Eclipse.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Java's got some nice advantages, and Eclipse has got some advantages. So Dr. Java is better for a class like this. So I'll use Dr. Java, but you're free to use anything you want. Okay. All right. Okay. So the class meets till 1:45. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Okay. And I'll end the meeting now. And if anybody's got questions, like I say, send me email, request a Zoom meeting. I'll have office hours on Monday and Wednesday, so you could come to office hours. And the main thing for this week is to try to get everybody having Dr. Java or some version of Java working on your computer at home. Okay, so I'm going to end the meeting now. Bye.